All right.
We're here.
We're here.
We're live.
How's everybody doing today?
Hello?
Hello.
We asked you a question.
Hey, welcome to Talk Comics to Me. I'm Champ Champenstein.
I'm Heather Hadfield.
And it's New Comic Book Day. It's Wednesday.
It is the
It's the 19th.
19th. I should know that.
I actually had to say it out loud earlier.
Yeah, I heard you say it out loud and everything, and it's like a big day for me, so like I know what day it is.
What's the day?
It's my anniversary.
Oh, shit. Happy anniversary.
So I like knew what day it was, but I was like, it's the 22nd.
Well,
anyway,
we did it. So Heather has a shit ton of comics, so we should go.
Here we go. Okay. So first I have, it's this little graphic novel. It's called Black is the Color, and it is by Julia Gerferer. Gerferer. It's a very difficult to pronounce last name, but it's great. So this book, it's about a sailor, pretty much, and mermaids and stuff. But basically there's these two new sailors who are on this boat. The ship or whatever can't support them, like they don't have enough food or like just can't do it. Yeah. So they are cast out from the ship and put on their own little boat, a little dinghy is what they call it, and they're expected to just like survive. One of the guys ends up dying, but the main character of the story is named Warren. He is, I guess, found. What is that? Why is that there? I'm gonna take that off in a minute. But he is found by a mermaid who is trying to, give him hope, I guess, in a way. Okay. She tells him, like, really dry jokes and stuff, and because he knows that he's going to die, and all he wants to do is go home, but she's trying to comfort him. But, I mean, if you know anything about mermaids, you know that she's just trying to kill him. She's just trying to take him, but she's being nice about it. But there's, I don't know, there's like...
If nothing else, at least she's giving him a good time.
Yeah. But then the boat that they were on ends up, sinking, and all the other mermaids and stuff are like joking about the people that are dying. Like they're like, "Oh, look, there's your boyfriend," and then they like laugh about it. I really enjoy this book. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, no, she does like all the art for it and writes the story and stuff, and it's like really simple, but it's also like haunting, I guess.
Yeah, no,
in a way.
It's really good.
But yeah, she has 3 books out, and this is just one of them. This is a reprint of one that came out in, like, 2013, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Black is the Color. It's really good. If you like mermaids and sailors, you'll enjoy it. There's no water today. Okay, so next I have Jane Foster Valkyrie. This is issue number 10. This is the last one, apparently. I did not realize that until I got to the very end. But this is... Jane Foster defeating the evil that is the darkness. Not the band, just, the darkness that surrounds Jane Foster.
And if you weren't alive in, like, the early 2000s...
They sing that song,
I believe in a thing called love.
Just listen to the rhythm of it all. I love that song so much, I listen to it all the time, still. Multiple times a week. Anyway, so yeah, this is the last issue of Valkyrie. Apparently, it's a wrap on Jane Foster Valkyrie, but Valkyrie will be in the epic King in Black event that kicks off in December.
Yes.
Jason Aaron is not done with Jane yet, apparently, so there will be more. I'm just not sure what else she's gonna do. She's like, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. I'm gonna show the world. And Jason Aaron writes her doing everything that I've always wanted to do, so I don't know why I just can't be Jane Foster.
The real questions in life, truly.
I need Jason Aaron's email, and that's rude. But yeah, no, I think I really enjoyed this series as a whole. There were a few issues that I kind of lost interest in just because of the pace of it, I guess. But as with anything that Jason Aaron writes, like, I just love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just gonna let that phone ring so I can... Is it done?
It's done.
Okay.
Didn't take long at all.
No, that was good. So now I have Wonder Woman Dead Earth. This is issue number 4. I actually spent my whole entire No, I didn't. I spent like an hour. I spent an hour reading
I spent my whole hour reading this.
I spent a whole hour reading 4 books, so I had to catch up because I have not read the last 3 issues, just since like the first 2 came out before COVID stuff started, and then all of the rest of the other 2, the last 2 have come out after, and I don't know, didn't want to take the time to do it. So I finally did, and it was 100% worth it. It is very, very, very badass. I don't know, just it puts a post-apocalyptic world and Wonder Woman together, and those are things like I'm kind of tired of post-apocalyptic shit.
Yeah, but it's a different with
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
And then it was Wonder Woman, which I have no interest in, but I do love Daniel Warren Johnson quite a bit.
Yeah.
Who wrote Murder Falcon.
That's right. That's where I recognize the name.
Wrote and drew Murder Falcon, and he also writes and draws this book, and it's just really cool. It's just really, really, really cool. I loved it quite a bit, and I don't know, it did make me enjoy Wonder Woman a little bit more than I think I ever have. Because I don't know, not a character I'm necessarily into.
Right. I've always had a bit of a grudge.
But I just like the grittiness quite a bit. I love the violence of it, and just like the onomatopoeias in there are great. Like all of them are wonderful. So I don't know, it's 100% worth checking out.
You used one of my favorite words, and I just onomatopoeias. I love that word.
But yeah, but they're all really, really like. I wish I could easily find just like one of them, but there was one that was just like dive, and the way it was written was just like really interesting, and also diving.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
So yeah,
I like it.
That's my story.
How many issues was it?
4.
4. Okay.
4 like longer issues, but I don't know. There's like also the fact that it's like an oversized issue. This is probably one of the few oversized Black Label books I don't mind, because it's just like it needs to be. Like, just the epic proportions of it just need to be, like, large. I would love, like, fucking art book. Like, give me poster-sized versions of this shit. I'll eat it up.
Like, they did that, like, Grand Design or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
the bigger ones. Or, I mean, even those image books that that 7 to Eternity one that's downstairs.
Oh, right,
directors cut that one that's, like, or artists.
They did that with The Walking Dead, too.
Yeah, it's really cool to see those pencils and shit just, like, really large, so.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that was my story.
Okay, so we're gonna move on just a little bit here. This ridiculous thing. We have Ludocrats. We both read this. It's all damaged and stuff, so we don't really have our own copies.
Yeah.
But let me just say... This is one of the more ridiculous books I've ever read that doesn't make sense, but I still want to read it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I still have no idea what's happening in this book.
I don't think anybody does.
No,
I think that's, like, the whole, like, thing with the book is that it is just, like, I mean, and it addresses that. It's just, like, we've made such nonsense that, like, we don't even know what we're doing at this point. And even in its explanation, it's still just, like, what the fuck?
It makes 0 sense, but it's so good.
It's so good.
It's really silly. I laugh every single issue. Can I show the peanut?
You can show the peanut.
Okay. I just have to show you guys this one page, because if this does not sell you on this book, I don't know what will. Okay. Oh God, let me try to freaking hold this. It's just that little boy right there. The puns.
It's just the puns.
They got rid of all the puns, but look at his face. I lost my mind when I opened it. Because he's got a tiny little butthole, too. Yeah. I can't. Oh, my God.
It's so good. It's, like, hard to... Because it is nonsense. It is just, like, absolute nonsense. Yeah. But the art is so great, and just everything about it. It does make me happy, and... Like I told somebody earlier, it just like it makes me like belly laugh. Like when I'm reading the book, it just makes me so absolutely happy.
I've never read that, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
I will say yes, just for the sake of this conversation, yes, it's probably just as ridiculous. Oh my God, that's not my hair.
Every day. So yeah, definitely worth checking out, especially if you enjoy a good chuckle.
Yeah, and there's one issue left.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's not like you really have to put a lot of effort into it. It's literally just, like, sit down, turn your brain off, and read Ludocrats. And
dude, you are having a day here.
It flew up on my hand. Okay. But yeah, no, Kieran Gillen, fantastic. I will read anything written by him, apparently. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have Faithless, Part 2, issue number 3. This is obviously just a continuance. Faith is finding out some stuff about Poppy that she wasn't sure of. Like, Poppy, when she says she's in an open relationship, she legitimately is in an open relationship. She doesn't give a fuck about your feelings because it's been discussed.
Okay.
Faith thinks that she's losing her mind because she keeps seeing things that are not there, and she is able to convince other people that they are also seeing things.
All right, interesting.
Magic. Like this part.
Okay.
Like, that doesn't actually happen. She just imagined it, and there's that. But yeah, you know, this is just a book about faith, sex, and the devil. And there's a naughty cover. I'm going to tell you now, if you're under 18, shield your eyes, because I don't need to get in trouble for this. This is the naughty cover. Look at that. It's a snake boy. That's long enough. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'm enjoying this series. I don't know. I just keep reading it because I want the covers.
Yeah, I assumed that was the case, honestly.
And it's not like a bad story. It's everything that I enjoy in a story, but it's just I guess I'm not interested in the characters at all.
Yeah.
Like, I want the magic, I want the Satan, I want the sex. I don't care about, like, building characters and stuff. Like, I don't care about introducing new characters unless something devil or sexual happens to him. Like, I don't care. But Patrick, did you need to see it again? I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just one of those books where, I mean, I enjoy the art quite a bit. I do enjoy the story on a base level, but I just don't care about anyone else. Like, if they would have done the second part with a whole different set of characters, I would still feel the same way. I'd just be like, okay, it's just a story, whatever. You want me to go again?
Yeah.
Okay. I have Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. This is issue number 1. This is a scout book, and I've been really enjoying my scout books. This is a crazy book. It's just about monsters, but not in the way that you think. There's this man who's, like, driving through this small town called Atlantis. He nearly gets rammed off the road by some woman who's wasted in her car. He finds out that there's a curfew in the town, but there's really no explanation as to why there is a curfew. And while he's kind of crashing in the sheriff's office, they have a couch there for him to stay on since he's just passing through.
Just a monster passing through.
Yeah, just a monster fucking passing through. But you don't. I don't know if I should have said that because it's, like, kind of a spoiler, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't spoil the plot of the story at all.
Okay.
But basically, this is a town of monsters. And this monster passing through is like, let's team up and let's go haunt people. I don't know if that's actually what he says, but they're monsters, pretty much. And that's it. There's just monsters. It's a monster town.
There's just it's a monster book.
It's a monster book.
It's a, if you will, a monster mash.
Thank you. Yes, just monsters all over the place. Destroying the town. That's what I imagine.
Are you ready for me?
Yeah, I am always ready for you.
Okay, so I have this little trade.
Is it Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah, it's Reservoir Dogs. No, this is called, I don't know why I looked at it. What book did I read today, like 2 hours ago? This is Last of the Independents. This is a Matt Fraction book, and Kieran Dwyer does the art, and I believe the inks as well. But yeah, whatever. There's only 2 of their names on there. And it is a little crime, like, noir western book. So this group of the Last of the Independents, they go and rob a bank, and as they're robbing the bank, they realize that they're not just robbing the bank, they're robbing somebody else. So they take all of this cash and like go hide out, and they're just a group of badasses basically. So I really liked this. This was a lot of fun. This was actually a book Matt Fraction wrote in 2003.
Dang, look at us with all the information. We're doing good.
I did not look more into that, so sorry. But it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it a lot. It is a nice little hardcover, though the problem is it's real long.
It's a long boy.
It's a long boy. So I don't know. I'm going to have to like...
It feels nice, though.
Yeah, it does feel nice. Prop it up somewhere. You know, I can't like just put it on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. I have books like that at home. It's very frustrating when you have a specific way you like your books set up.
Yeah, but I mean, it is long for a reason. I feel like it's like better to take in this way, because it's almost like taking in like, you know, a film like that. Like
this art is really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good book. It was really interesting.
It looks dirty.
Yeah. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about it, is that it, like, had that grittiness of, like, a crime noir, like, you know. And it had that, like, weird pulpy feel.
Mr. Pink.
So.
No, wait. This would be the cop, because he got his ear cut off.
This isn't Reservoir Dogs at all. I'm gonna
tell me that isn't Reservoir Dogs. I've seen the cover of that movie.
I'm gonna let everyone know that this is not Reservoir Dogs.
Okay. This also isn't Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
This is Once in Future. This is issue number 10. Another Kieran Gillen book. Less silly than the Ludocrats, but also still kind of silly at the same time, because Duncan is a silly boy. If you know the story of Beowulf, then you know that there is a monster in the story called Grendel. Who kills Grendel? And what happens when Beowulf isn't a part of the picture anymore? That's what this issue's about.
Yeah, that's a perfect explanation of that book. And also, Duncan's trying to go save his grandma. Mm-hmm. His grandma's trying to protect all of the old people in the home she lives in. And it's just a lot of stuff's going on. This book is fucking great. Like, and a Hot Fuzz reference.
Okay, yes. I was so stoked on that one. I about lost my mind. I was over there reading it, and I went, Simon Pegg. Because I was so excited about it. But yes, no, this book is still probably one of my favorites. It's so good.
It's probably one of the top 10 books I've read in, like, the recent times.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. I gotta say, as much as I do love Dan Mora's art, I feel like the colors specifically are what make this book.
Oh yeah, because it just like the purples are so vibrant and put in like the blues. It puts such a like it almost feels like a fairy tale, you know? Like we're in this world that's not quite real, and it doesn't look that way, you know? It has that like appeal to it.
Oh yeah, the teals, like the turquoises, the way.
This book is really perfect. Just the writing, the art, just like hand in hand.
It's beautiful. I'm really glad that they made this book and they decided to keep going after the original 6 issues.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I mean, I'd read this forever. And like the character development on Duncan has been so great. Just like seeing how he's taking in everything has been wonderful. And just like, I do like that he held up the driver of the car at gunpoint. Just like, he's learning from his grandmother, like, okay, like, this man isn't going to drive me as far as I want to go. What can I do?
Right.
I can't be a good boy anymore because I have to save people from mythical literature creatures.
Which is also really cool about it, too, is because they could keep doing this forever because they're using myths from different cultures. So it's not just, like, focused on one specific thing. It's across-the-board mythology, which I just love.
What?
Because one after another, they're just doing all my favorite stories, and I feel like this was written for me. Like, Kieran Gillen saw the fan letter that I wrote to him and was just like, you know what? Let's give Heather what she wants.
You wrote a fan letter to Kieran Gillen?
Every night when I sleep.
Oh,
I dream about it.
Oh, I thought you meant you pray. I pray to Kieran Gillen.
I mean, it's my version of praying. I just project.
It's just like The Wicked and the Divine, Ludocrats, Once in Future, whatever Loki book he wrote.
I was going to say Kid Loki. He did the newer, like, Journey into Mysteries.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so next. we have Gideon Falls. This is issue number 24. This book is wrapping up. I cannot remember what issue was the last issue, but it's definitely getting its legs, and everybody is separated and trying to come together within...
That was one of my favorite friggin' pages.
Yeah, within Gideon Falls.
Yeah, each issue is now a completely... Well, not completely, because we already know these characters, but each issue focuses on the different characters that jumped through different dimensions and timelines throughout Gideon Falls once the Black Barn exploded.
Yeah.
It exploded, yes. So this one focuses on...
I don't know, that was like a year ago, wasn't it?
I know. But this one focuses on Clara, who was the cop.
Yes, and the brother of Norton.
Sister of Norton.
Yeah, brother of Norton.
Yeah.
Genders don't matter.
Brother of Norton. But yeah, no, this focuses on Clara and what she is doing in this version of Gideon Falls. There are a lot of smiling people in here, which I thought was really creepy because the faces are just insane. Like, especially when they're far away. You got, like, this hanging dude. Like, I love this art. I love the panels. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think right now it is, like, at this point where it's, like, plateaued to, like, where it's going to go and trying to, like, get you to the point where it's gonna, like, wrap up itself.
It's gonna wrap up itself for an end.
Yeah. No Jeff Lemire needed. The book's just gonna do it on its own accord.
And we're just gonna realize that we were in the Black Barn the whole time. The story was inside of us the whole time.
We actually were never reading this comic book or suggesting it to people. Like, we were just willing it into their brains.
Oh my god. We are the comic book. I don't need to get into this right now. I don't understand interdimensional time travel.
No, you don't.
I've never watched Dark. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to keep talking after I itch my ear.
It's all good.
Okay. I have Avengers issue number 35. This is part 3 of the Age of Khonshu.
Yeah, last time we just fucked that all sorts of
I'm not
up.
even going to try to repronounce it. That's just what it is. It kind of gives an origin, in a sense, to Moon Knight. And I love this issue because Moon Knight keeps fighting Mephisto and, like, killing him, and Mephisto just keeps coming back, and he's like, I'm scared of you. Like, I have killed you so many times. Why do you keep coming back? And there's, like, a pile of Mephistos. Hold on. It's incredible. But yeah, no, this, come on. Where are you?
Did you?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's really good. But he's basically just trying to take the power from the Avengers and stuff, but there are other Avengers who are working against him. There's a train that has Robbie and Iron Fist and, shoot, one other person I cannot remember. But basically Blade and Captain America are... Doctor Strange. Blade and Captain America and She-Hulk are trying to get to the train so that they can save them and bring them back and stuff. And the way that She-Hulk transforms cracks me up because she says, think angry thoughts, politics, student loans, and then she turns into She-Hulk.
That's legit.
Yeah, which I thought was really good. And also, there's a really good conversation. It's very, very quick that Blade and Captain America have about... God, I can't even remember what the conversation was about, but I just remember thinking, like, oh, cool. Oh, here it is. Different era, same said shit. Always a bunch of fools in masks who think their boots on our necks are doing us a favor. When you think that the old morale arc of the universe is going to start bending towards progress. It's just a really good...
Yeah.
Yeah. This, I really enjoy Avengers, and I more enjoy the issues where there's more of, like, an origin on certain characters, and this one kind of just combines everything that I like about the Avengers and just throws it into one.
All right.
Because it also shows, like, Tony Hawk almost being...
Tony Hawk.
Look, I've been playing a lot of Skate recently, dude.
I'm just imagining some sort of wild Iron Man Tony Hawk thing.
Just imagine it being Tony Hawk from now on, because that's
I
what it is.
I would love that way more than
I'm
Tony
never going to
Stark.
be able
Can
to come
Iron
back from
Man
this?
be Tony Hawk? Because Tony Hawk is so great.
It is.
He's wonderful.
But anyway, Tony Hawk almost gives up the baby that has been corrupted by the Star brand to bad guys, the Moon Knight. He almost gives the baby up because he is like, okay, you know, like if I do this, then we'll all survive. He's like this close to just like getting rid of that baby, and he's like, what the fuck? What is happening to me? Which I thought was a very good look into Tony Hawk's brain.
Not the real Tony Hawk. The fake Tony Hawk.
One.
You gotta go again.
God damn it.
Yeah, you have all of the books.
I have so many books.
Now it's all just, besides this one.
Okay. So I have No One's Rose. This is issue number 4, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like this issue. I thought it was fantastic. So if you aren't familiar with it, it's about a weird planet ecosystem inside of a dome where this family lives, brother and sister. Their dad had been killed like several years before for going against what the people there believed in.
Okay.
He believed that the Earth can survive without humans, and what we're doing to the planet is not good. Whereas, you know, all the people there are like, the planet needs us. It's a symbiotic relationship type of thing.
Yeah.
The daughter is against what the dad believes. The son is for what the dad believes. So the son is a part of this, I guess, anarchist group that are trying to go on the inside and like take
fascists.
Yes. They're trying to, the group is trying to take down all the people that are there. Yeah, I agree. No more babies in this world, please. And then the sister is trying to help this planet, I guess, grow within the dome. She gets taken with a group of her, I don't know what to call them, like classmates, I guess. They're scientists, essentially. She gets taken with a group of them outside of the dome, and they discover that there have been people living out there, despite being told that they wouldn't survive because of how the planet is, like, growing.
Okay.
And she discovers that, like, not only are these people, like, thriving out there, but they're doing it against what she's learned her entire life. And she starts, like, learning with them and, like, you know, trying to figure out what is going on. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that the people that went out there with her or took her out there are just trying to steal their resources so that they can survive within the dome. So they just completely, like, destroy this, like, settlement that these people are living in. So she kind of realizes that, like, everything that her brother and her dad have been saying is true. Yeah, and she's, like, now a part of this system that she can't really get out of because she signed away her life.
Yeah, she worked really hard to get there. I remember, because they kind of go over that in, like, the first issue.
Yeah. And on the brother side of the story is, like, the group that he is working with, they're trying to get rid of the dome, pretty much. And he discovers that the group that he is working with, in order to do that, they were going to sacrifice a bunch of the people that live there. He does not agree with that at all, obviously, because he's like, there's no way that you can kill a bunch of people and say that we're going to survive. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of discovering that they're both wrong in ways, and they're both right in ways. And it's like, everything that they've believed in is just false.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been very interesting. That first issue was kind of weird. I wasn't really into it. But then as the story progresses, like, it really is building, and I really enjoy it. Like, I think the brother is still my favorite character because he's gay as hell and he's smart and he just doesn't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a really good character.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I know that you're, like, on the fence for, like, even, like, in that last issue, I remember you kind of hemming and hawing, so I'm really glad to hear that. It's just,
I almost took it off, but this one really did, like, change it completely. I think especially with the introduction of those new people and, you know, the sister getting to see, like, you can survive outside here. You just need to love the earth, not try to reproduce it or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. We got some decorum now.
We got the decorum.
This is issue number 4, and honestly, there's just a lot of maps and stuff in here, and the colonizing aliens are just going to colonize and brutalize and destroy.
Yeah, it's weird because I read this earlier, but I don't feel like I actually absorbed what was happening. All I saw was, or I guess took from it, was sacrificing.
Yeah.
Which, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about these colors, though?
Yeah, the art and colors are so good. I was describing this book earlier. I was like, it's like watching, like, an art house film.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, it's so fucking heady, dude. It's just, like, insane. Like, my brain every time is just, like, I don't know. I'm reading words. I'm looking at, like, really cool shit. I think I get what's going on.
It's like watching that movie Mandy, and I keep just waiting for Nick Cage. I don't think it's going to happen, but I keep waiting.
This book would be terrible if they did that.
What if he was just, like, in the background?
I would murder somebody. I'd be like, Jonathan Hickman, I'm never picking up one of your books again.
What if it was just Mike Huddleston just, like, shoving Nick Cage in the background just to be funny? Anyway, there's one more left, right?
Yes. At least.
Or two.
I think there's probably two.
It might be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's two more.
Because, I mean, they have to kind of connect, like, this part of the story with, like, the assassins. And, like, I mean, I'm assuming the assassins are built off of one of the mothers. Mm-hmm. And that's what that assassin planet is, and, like, why they're bringing in different, like, women.
Right, that makes sense.
At least that's what I took out of it.
Yeah, because this one does focus, so, like, every other issue we've gotten, like, a few different chapters,
pieces,
I guess.
yeah,
a few different pieces, where this one is just the religious sect with the egg.
Yeah, and then the bad alien boys.
The baddie, yeah. The baddie.
Which, and this also just reminds me of, like, the Powers of X, House of X, the goddamn weird, like, machine people on that one planet.
Oh, yeah, the 10. Powers 10.
And all of that stuff. Like, when I was reading this, I was just like, is this just, like, stuff that they couldn't put in X-Men?
Mm-hmm. Drop the egg.
The egg shit, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this all comes together. I'm very excited because there were so many different, like, moving pieces to it and so many different characters that you were introduced to that I am excited to see where they all come in and where they all end.
All right.
Okay.
So we both read.
Yes, we both read this one. This is Shadow Service. This is about a private detective or investigator or whatever who is a witch.
Yep.
That's literally, it's like a supernatural Magnum PI.
I don't think you can make the Magnum PI reference, but
no, I was seeing how you would react.
Why?
I don't know, because every time I make wrong references, I just like the face that you make when I do it, which is why I continue to do it. I guess this would be more of a James Bond then.
Yeah.
Because she's got, like, all these tools and shit that she uses. I don't know. It's a weird spy thriller, but she's a witch and she hunts people for other people, not for, like, a corporation necessarily. She does work for a man, but she's not allowed to know any of his information. He just gives her certain tasks. But in this one, she gets a little in over her head.
Yeah.
So. Oh, it says Spycraft meets black magic in the shadowy world of MI666. So, sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, you got it. You got the spot.
Yeah.
You found the sweet spot.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this more than I actually thought I would. I forgot that I added this to my poll. Completely forgot. But after reading the back, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, she also has a friend who's a rat who talks to her, follows her around, tries to give her advice, but she's like, I don't want to listen to a rat. Which I think that she should, because he actually seems pretty smart.
Yeah, he does seem smart. It does remind me a lot of, like, Hellblazer in its own way.
I can see that. I did
and
like,
because of all of the, like, British.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say all the weird. What is the term? You know, I'm not gonna talk about this one anymore. I like it. Lingo, I guess is the word.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. language, lingo.
Because she, like, uses certain words that are, like, strictly British.
Yeah.
Witchcraft meets Inspector Gadget. Yep. MI666.
I quit. All right. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Either you can go first, since I...
Well, do you want to do Thor?
Yeah, I'll just
let's
briefly discuss this. So, this is Thor. This is issue number 6. I don't know how to explain this without, like, giving away literally everything that happens. Basically, Thor has a conversation with Galactus that doesn't end the way that Galactus wants it to, and the Black Winter...
why are you looking at me?
Because I can never remember what his name is.
I mean, that's
the Black...
That's what you guys have
The
been
Black
call-
Winter, yeah.
That's what everybody keeps calling him around this joint. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, there's the Black Winter, who is a star. He destroyed Galactus's...
In my brain, when you said that, I was like, oh, he's just like a star.
Yeah, no, he's just a star. He's just a black star. But no, he destroyed Galactus's home planet. So there's a weird storyline with him, but it basically, it's Thor recounting his time with Galactus and the Black Winter, while also revealing that he discovers how he's going to die.
Okay.
Without giving away too much, because there's more stuff that happens in here, but I don't know, it's like I had told you through the headset earlier, I wish Donny Cates didn't feel like he needed to be so edgy all the time. I would like it just the same if he was just not that way.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, when I'm reading Thor, and I mean, Jason Aaron's version versus Donny Cates is like, Donny Cates feels like he has to put on these big boy pants. And he doesn't need to he just needs to write his own story without so much extra stuff.
Okay.
There's no need for it. Just tell me a story. I don't need all this extra pizzazz.
Yeah.
You know?
You didn't need a new character.
Yeah, that was introduced for one issue.
Yeah.
Like one whole issue. It just seems unnecessary. And the way that these issues are being written, it kind of feels like they're just being dragged out for no reason. Like, it's very anticlimactic. I mean, I don't dislike it. It's just, again, like, I read Jason Aaron's for so long that, like, I have a certain, I don't know, idea of what Thor should be, and it's just not hitting it for me.
I get that.
Yeah.
Just became, like, used to the character in that way.
Yeah, and it feels really different now. Like, he's, like, a try-hard. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Because Thor's not a try-hard. Especially not now.
Like how, especially not now.
No. He's been through so much. He doesn't need to be a try-hard anymore.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Okay, so I guess we're on to the X books now.
Yeah.
All right, I have Cable. I read this issue. It's issue number 3. And this is just... Sorry, just remembering what happens in this issue. It kind of shows what happens to old Cable, and Cable is basically trying to find old Cable's body to get the arm. And
the arm. Okay.
And Deadpool has the body.
Of course he does.
And it's just basically Deadpool, Kid Cable, and Esme. And that's it.
Okay.
It's really silly. There's one part that did literally make me laugh out loud, where like Deadpool was keeping Cable's body. It was pretty hilarious. And just the way that Kid Cable goes about, like, just taking the arm. Yeah. Because he's the king of Staten Island right now.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, I don't know because I haven't been reading Deadpool, but apparently he is the king of Staten Island.
I mean, I get it. It makes sense. But the fact that he's wearing a crown is just... Of course.
Yeah. No, it was funny. It was good. It was good stuff.
Okay.
I don't have a lot to say just because it's just... It was a good time. It was just exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Still nice and silly.
Nice and silly. And I think that's why I enjoy it, is because I don't know, like, it's, like I said before, I think it's just, like, it's what I would want out of Deadpool, but I don't want to read Deadpool.
I feel that. 100% feel that.
So I like it that it's Kid Cable, I guess.
That's funny because I feel like I've always liked Cable significantly less than I've liked Deadpool.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I would prefer to read that.
Yeah,
Deadpool.
and that's why, like, when I read the first issue off the wall, I expected to dislike it. Like, I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to like this book. I'm just going to read it to see what it's like. And then, pleasant surprise, I love the shit out of it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Gary Duggan just makes it. Also, Phil Noto on art, dog.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Like, it just looks really good. So
I love Noto art.
Like, why wouldn't I just read it?
It's so smooth. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, what a newborn baby's wall should look like.
Yeah.
In his nursery.
Yeah, exactly. God. And so, like, no Cable book should look like this. It's...
It should be gritty. It should be like a Diodato kind of art, but the fact that Noto just makes it look so smooth.
So smooth.
I love it.
It's so great. Yeah. I don't know. Once again, if you didn't ever think you'd like Cable, I think this is a...
I mean, I read that first one and I loved it, and I hate Cable.
I don't know. It's the idea that he's, like, you know, dating the cuckoos. Like, all of the little aspects of it are just when he finds that giant fucking sword, like, I don't know. It's just really... It's really great.
He is still dating the cuckoos?
Yeah, that's like Esme, the Esme cuckoo.
Okay.
Was, like, that's who was on this mission with him.
That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So, I would like to start by saying we love Teeny. It's been a while since I've said
Always.
that. This is Excalibur. This is issue number 11. This deals with Jubilee. Her dragon son has been shot out of the sky, and he is hurt. And because of her reaction, Saturn, I still don't know how to say it. Saturnine. Her priestesses lock Jubilee up in a tree because she threatens to, like, hurt everyone, and they're focused on, you know, the safety of their forest. So they, that's damaged if I've ever seen it. So the Excalibur team are there to help Jubilee, to, like, help her calm down and stuff, but they discover that they can't take Shogo back to Krakoa because they don't know if, like, the injury that he has, if they take him through the gate, if he'll just completely
like
disintegrate.
Yeah, because he's a dragon and he turns into a boy. Okay,
So they're trying to find a way to help him. Richter is getting some history lessons with Apocalypse, or however you say his name now. But he tells the story of how in the 12th century he was in this coven. The story is really good, so I'm not going to, like, ruin it, but it does have Kandra, who Gambit knows. There's a whole history between them and stuff, but she is mentioned in here briefly. And then they are taken to... The Excalibur people are taken to the Saturn's temple. And while she's distracted, Rogue and Gambit are like, let's go steal shit. They don't actually say that. I just imagine them both getting really excited about being left alone and being like...
Because in my brain, I was just like, oh, they're going to go bang somewhere.
I immediately thought that, too, because I was like, okay, he looks grumpy. He needs to get it in. And then she's like, no, check this out. And shows him this chest full of things. And, you know, he's got sticky fingers. Remy LeBeau. So he's like, oh, a deck of cards? A soul stone? Okay. That's it. It's fun because I don't know, like, what is going on at this point. Because the stone that Gambit has, it is explained, like, earlier in the book with Apocalypse and all that kind of stuff. So there is a reason for it, but I'm excited to see how it comes into play.
All right.
And the fact that Rogue is just naughty, and she's like, they're distracted, so we might as well take all this stuff. And Gambit is just down with it just immediately. Like, you know what, honey, you're right.
I mean,
I know.
It was whole gig, isn't it?
I just wasn't expecting Rogue to be like, you know, oh, sugar, let's go fucking steal this other thing from here. And he's just like, well, yeah, you know, of course I'm going to, because I'm sure he thought he was getting it in too, because when she says they're distracted, he goes, oh yeah, they are. What were you going to show me?
My boobs.
Yeah, and he's disappointed because she gives him a deck of cards instead. Anyway,
Go ahead.
that was Excalibur. And then I have the last issue here of this Empire X-Men. My God, this was fantastic. I was not expecting it to be this good. There's a cute... Basically, Wanda goes to Doctor Strange and is like, hey, I fucked up. I tried bringing all these people back on Genosha after I killed them all. Help me. What do I do? He calls her an idiot, has her explain, like, what she had done, like, what spell she had done and stuff. And so basically he's trying to undo it. He can't undo it right away, so it has, like, a timeline. And once the timeline is up, everything will go back to normal. So this issue, this last one, just kind of counts down to the point where everything goes back to normal.
Okay.
So it's really interesting because there's a really good conversation between... You're going to help me with his name. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. It's the kid that can explode himself.
Oh, I do not remember.
Dave told me, like, was telling me a story about him one time, but I cannot remember what his name is. But anyway, it's the kid that explodes himself. He goes to find his zombie version self on Genosha and has this really good conversation with him because he remembers where he was in his mindset at that point in time, like when they all died. So he's going there for his own, like, peace of mind and stuff, which I just think is so cute. They discuss their first kiss. It's adorable. And then the time runs out and, you know, Magic makes a fool of herself by trying to fucking come onto Nightcrawler. It's 4 issues, and I don't feel like you need to know anything about Empire, like the event, to read this. But no, it's really good. I love the way that it ended. I thought the last few pages were just really good, and it kind of makes it seem like something else is happening, so maybe I do need to read Empire. Yeah, well, just because I don't know, just the way that like that last page specifically.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like alluding to something else that's going to be happening within the series or if there's going to be something else. But for what it was, fantastic. I loved it.
All right, last one.
Yes.
We got it.
We're almost done.
This is Wolverine. This is issue number 4?
4. 4.
I really liked this issue quite a bit.
I thought it was fantastic.
Wolverine basically tells the Quiet Council to fuck off, and he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And then he goes up to Canada and basically almost gets murdered by a bunch of humans.
This plays into the very first issue. If you remember reading that, like half of it was about the drug, the second half was about Dracula. And in the second half, when it's talking about Dracula, you discover that Omega Red is being controlled by Dracula. And that's kind of what this has to do with, in a sense, I guess. But yeah, we got some big baddies in here. We got tons of blood. We got Omega Red, but there's like one scene in here that reminded me, this is so stupid, it reminded me of SLC Punk when they try to like take the car and sink it in the salt lake or whatever, but they can't because there's so much salt, so the water, it's just holding the car right up. That's what this whole scene reminded me of, like when his head is just like chilling. I was like, oh, he can't sink, there's too much salt. It's not what's happening at all, but for some reason that's just what my mind thought of. Love this story. I love Wolverine. I didn't know I could enjoy pee-pee jokes as much as I did until Wolverine was like, I'm going to use this as a piss jar.
Yeah. No, it's a solid book. This is a real solid Wolverine story too. At least so far. It's been really, really interesting.
I've been surprised, like, within this last year or two about how much I've been enjoying certain Wolverine stories, because I really like that Wolverine Infinity Watch story. And I don't know if it was just because it had Loki in it or if it was, I don't know, a Wolverine thing, but I don't know. It was a really good story. I enjoyed it. But yeah, no, everything that I've read with Wolverine in it lately, I've been really into.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that I ever would. Like, I loved him when I was little. Absolutely did. But I never read any, like, good comics of his when I was little. Because I just wasn't reading Wolverine comics.
Yeah,
I just
for sure.
knew that he was the Canadian hairy dude from the X-Men. I was like, yeah, I'm into it.
The art is also really, 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 really good in this particular issue. I feel like it does a really good job of fitting in with, like, the grittiness of, like, Alaska and what's happening with, like, the aspect of the vampires as well.
I liked the way that the people, like, the humans were drawn, because they were drawn in such a way that, like, when you see them, you're like, oh, these are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, you just know immediately because there's, like, something off about them. You don't know, like, what it is necessarily, but they just don't look right.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe them, for sure.
Yeah, which I just thought that was really cool, because I love little things in art that make you, I don't know, make you think it's something that it's not.
So get you clued in.
Yeah. If you can do that with just the way, like, the shape of someone's face, then that's freaking cool.
All right, that's it.
That's it. We did it.
That is it. So thank you for visiting us on this beautiful Wednesday. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we got some big things coming up. We got some big things we're working on.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna get you guys stuff.
All right. We love you. Goodbye.